Happy Valentine's Day, fellow browncoats. Well, I look at the series Firefly, not confused on with the episode Jaynestown. The episode opens with Kaylee insisting that the always proper Simon never uses swear words, despite his protestations that he does whenever they are appropriate. An hour departs for an overnight meeting with a client, while the rest of the crew prepares to disembark at the town of Canton to pick up some illegal goods for a client. Mal and Simon catch Jane trying to use medical tape to hide a gun under his shirt, in violation of Canton's no-gun law. Jane says he needs it because he has enemies on Canton, but Mal orders him to leave the gun behind. The crew reaches Canton, with Simon posing as a merchant looking to purchase industrial clay and the others as his employees. Jane is fearful, as years before he robbed the local magistrate Higgins. After talking with the foreman, they enter the town, where they find a statue of the hero of Canton, which to Jane's shock is him. At a tavern, the crew hears a folk song, revealing that the locals, who refer to themselves as mutters, worship Jane as their savior. Jane reveals that during the robbery, his getaway vehicle was damaged and he was forced to dump the stolen money to escape. The loot apparently weighed down the mutters, causing them to mistakenly believe that he robbed the magistrate to protest his corrupt rule. Jane is recognized and the mutters surround and honor him. Mal's smuggling contract is horrified, fearing that the locals will catch wind of their presence, but Mal decides to use Jane's popularity to their advantage by convincing the mutters to throw a celebration for Jane while they move the goods to Serenity. An hour meets with Higgins, who introduces her to his 26-year-old son, Fess. Fess is still a virgin, so the magistrate has hired Nara to make a man of him. She reassures Fess that there is nothing wrong with his being a virgin, and after having sex with him, talks about how he needs to be his own man and not let his father control his life. Higgins and his farm release a half-blind man, Sitch Heston, from what appears to have been 4 years of solitary confinement in a very small cell, giving him a load of shock and telling him that this is his chance to get revenge on his old partner, Jane. On the ship, an agitated River tears up Shepard Book's Bible, insisting that it makes no sense and that she has to fix it. Book manages to calm her down and explains that the Bible cannot be understood in a logical or scientific sense, but rather acts as an instrument of faith that fixes people rather than needing fixing itself. Later, she attempts to repair and return it to him, but panics when he sees his bald head of hair, per the rules of his order, that he normally keeps in a tight bun. Zoe then forces Book to tie his hair back when River tries to hide from him. Anar prepares to return to the ship. When Fess expresses puzzlement not feeling any different now that his virginity is gone, she explains to him that being a man is about being old enough to ask such a question rather than just having sex. Anar learns from Fess that Jane is said to be either killed or arrested by the magistrate's men, and that the ship has been landlocked. He tells her that he sympathizes with what Jane did, and hopes that he can escape. Mal returns to fetch Kaylee and Simon from the bar, finding the mechanic draped over the doctor on a couch. He tries to explain to Mal how nothing happened, but once again manages to accidentally insult the frustrated Kaylee. Collecting a tipsy Jane, they head off, but Kaylee stops Simon in his tracks with her scorn. As the doctor eats breakfast alone, Stitch arrives. The cigar criminal brutalizes him in an attempt to locate Jane, but the words of an approving crowd outside give away his location instead. Stitch drags Simon along as a hostage to confront Jane. Stitch tells the mutter that he helped Jane steal the money, and that when they found themselves needing to reduce weight, Jane chose to throw him off first instead of the money. Jane retorts that Stitch would have done the same. Stitch then shoots, but a young mutter jumps in front of Jane and is killed. Jane kills Stitch with his knife and screams at the mutter that he is no hero and that they shouldn't have to wait for someone to come along and solve all their problems. He then tears down his own statue and angrily grabs his knife from the hands of a young boy before storming off with the crew. Wash attempts to start the ship, but is unable to achieve ignition due to the landlock. His crew get released, however, due to Fess using his position to order Serenity's release. Kaylee has a heart-to-heart talk with Simon, but cannot resist briefly making him worry about what happened after the previous night's party. In the cargo bay, Jane broods about the mutter's sacrifice, and the townsfolk will probably put the statue back up and continue to worship him. Mal attempts to explain to Jane the hero worship is not about him, but about what the townsfolk need. But Jane only replies, "Don't make no sense." Yeah, well, I actually kind of agree with the Mal. I mean, hey, that's why we worship certain folk heroes and stuff like that. So there you go. So well, this episode is pretty dang good, and yeah, I do see the kind of pros and cons about hero worship and stuff like that, but still, it's a pretty good episode overall, so yeah. So overall, I give Jaynestown 4 fireflies out of 5. Anyway, tune in a bit as we check the next episode, Out of Gas. So until then, remember everyone, you can't take the sky from me.